Right folks, you all wanted a video on the European Super League, so without further ado, I've actually not really got any grand statement to make about this. I just think it's a pretty terrible idea, but if you've got any sort of interest in current footballing affairs, you will know that by now. I'm yet to actually meet one person who thinks this is a good idea, so I probably don't need to tell you too much about why it's a bad idea. You'll know that by now. But one of the things I've been struck by in the whole unveiling of this league they're calling the Super League is just how basic the whole idea has seemed to be. Their website is really simple and basic. You would certainly have expected something a bit flashier for something containing 12 of the best clubs, the biggest clubs in Europe, apparently. Their logo is pretty underwhelming, if we're honest. On the website, they use the tagline, the best clubs, the best players. And to a certain extent, that may be true. They are, of course, missing Paris Saint-Germain, Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund, Ajax, and a number of other major clubs who have won the European Cup in the past, not least ourselves. But more than anything else, just that tagline of the best players, the best clubs, maybe that does appeal to a lot of people, but only talking for myself, the thing I look for in football, and I enjoy in football more than anything else, is meaning and matches that matter. I would much rather watch a relegation match of lower quality in a league than a game between first and second in the league if there's 20 points separating them. I want football matches that matter and there's real meaning to. And sadly, this new league that they're proposing will have very little meaning. There'll be no battles for the Champions League places, for the Europa League places, for the Conference League places. There'll be no relegation fight at all, it seems. These are things that we look for in current leagues and we get in the current leagues that we've got around Europe. There will be meaningful matches at the end of the competition because they're going to have quarterfinals, semi-finals and a final at a neutral venue. That's all well and good, but that's things we've already got in football at the moment. That's things that the Champions League and the Europa League already provide on top of all the domestic leagues running in a traditional league system. The Champions League is far from perfect. I don't think it's great at all that teams like ourselves, who have been champions of Scotland for 9 seasons prior to this one, have had to play qualifiers to get into the Champions League group stage in every single one of those seasons. We've had to play up to 4 qualifiers in some seasons just to get into the group stage, while third and fourth best teams in larger European countries go straight into the group stage. That's not right at all. And I'm actually not a huge fan of UEFA in general. But if it's a competition between what UEFA are proposing, even in this new watered-down Champions League that favours the big clubs more, if it's a comparison between that and this horrific Super League idea, it really is no contest and it really is no comparison. The fact that this new Super League would be a closed shop tournament, a closed shop league, it would have no relegation, certainly for 12 or 15 or how many the founding clubs there are. That's what I think seems to have irked people most because it flies in the face of what we've known football to be. Competition and an opportunity for any team to achieve what they want to be, whether it's international teams like San Marino or Gibraltar, or whether it's teams like Leicester City who have gone on to win the English League in the last few seasons. The fact is that football has always started the league season with everyone equal in the same league, and everyone has had the opportunity to dream big and dream of achieving stuff. And that's why at the back of our minds, every season, you will have the thought, I wonder if Celtic could win a European trophy this season. Chances are it won't happen, or it won't even come close to happening in the next generation or longer. But we can always have that dream, whereas this dream would basically be taken away from us if these 12 or 15 clubs ended up just going into this closed shop of a league. Only someone who isn't a football fan could think this was a good idea. That's the only conclusion I can come to, is that these people who are proposing these ideas aren't football fans, because anyone who is a football fan and loves the beautiful game, so to speak, it's not a phrase I usually use, but I'll use it in this case, They know what makes football great, and it is that competition. It's that ability that everyone can dream big and everyone's on a level playing field, and that would be snatched away from us in this new format. Now, I mentioned UEFA a minute ago. Yesterday, actually, UEFA confirmed the new Champions League format. This has obviously gone massively under the radar given the tumultuous scenes that are going on around Europe with the Super League and clubs and leagues and competitions at war. The new UEFA format from 2024 is basically exactly as was described by me on the channel a couple of weeks ago. So if you want a full breakdown of how that's going to work, either go to UEFA.com or even better, just watch that video I did a few weeks ago. I'll tag it above. Interestingly enough, UEFA confirmed that the Europa League and the Europa Conference League that will start next season will follow the same format from season 2024-2025. So the Europa League and the Conference League will also be one single league, Swiss system, so to speak, where teams would play a selection of matches. They're yet to confirm exactly how many teams would be in these competitions, but the days of 8 groups of 4 or 12 groups of 4 will be gone from 2024. So big changes coming no matter what happens with this Super League. Like a lot of you, I've been transfixed by this story over the last 48 hours or so. I've had Sky Sports News on practically for all of that time, certainly all of the time that I've been awake, just hearing the latest developments. There's been plenty of developments, I'm sure, between this going up and you watching it. There will have been plenty of developments. As things stand at the moment with the growing negativity towards this proposal, this league, I do think that it's not going to happen. I just think there's too much opposition. There's chat about Jordan Henderson getting all the English Premier League captains together. There's chat about the government possibly blocking police from attending these Super League matches, therefore meaning that the matches couldn't go ahead, therefore meaning the league couldn't go ahead. There just seems to be too much opposition from basically everyone other than the leaders of these 12 clubs, 6 in England, for this to happen. In terms of how it could affect Celtic, if the league does go ahead, it would mean that these 12, 15, 20, however many clubs are in this league wouldn't be allowed to play in their domestic leagues, and they wouldn't be in the Champions League or the Europa League in Arsenal's case. That obviously from a Celtic point of view would make the Champions League less glamorous. Would the Champions League still hold the same appeal if getting to the group stage you couldn't face Barcelona, Real Madrid, all the big English teams? I know PSG, Bayern Munich, Dortmund, Ajax, and I know there's other teams in the likes of Italy and Spain, you know, Valencia, Roma, Lazio, who we beat last season. There would still be appealing names there, but would it be the same glamorous competition that it is now? I think that's worth thinking about. Another thing, listening to the Real Madrid president, Florentino Perez, last night chatting about the Super League, and he did mention that there is the potential for a Super League 2, a second division of this Super League where promotion and relegation could go on. Would Celtic be asked to be part of this second division? I think there's a fair chance that we would, given our stature as a club in Europe. I would hope that if that opportunity ever did arise, that the power men at Celtic would turn it down. I don't think what we've got at the moment is bad in any way. There's certainly imperfections about the way the Champions League works for us, the fact we have to play so many qualifiers to get to the group stage. That's not ideal, but it is improving due to Scotland's improving status in the coefficient table. But I think domestically, we've kind of got what we want. Scottish football isn't the most glamorous. There should be more money coming in to the game. We certainly undersell ourselves. I think we have a pretty good league that's constantly talked down by people in other countries and even people in our own country. I think it'd be great if that changed. But as a Celtic fan, having the chance to win trophies every season and winning trophies virtually every season, this is the first season in 10, 11 years that we've not won a trophy. I love that opportunity. Equally, I love the opportunity to test ourselves against the biggest teams in Europe in the Champions League and to a less extent the Europa League. I love being the underdogs in those matches. And as much as some of you perhaps watching this video would think that Celtic being part of the Super League system would be good for the club, It would undoubtedly improve us as a club. It would improve our revenue. It would improve the team. It would improve our chances of winning the biggest trophies. But is it really worth it? And is it worth Celtic becoming another soulless club like Liverpool, like Arsenal, like Manchester United, like so many others that have joined this Super League? I kind of like Celtic as they are, and I really like what Celtic stand for in general, and I like what Celtic strive for every season. Domestic dominance and testing ourselves in Europe. I think we've got a good lot there, and I just really hope that whatever happens with this Super League, that Celtic aren't part of it. I hope that things change for the better. I don't think evolution is a bad thing at all, but this revolution that's been proposed by these clubs and killing off competition at the top of European football is just a terrible, terrible idea.